We're gonna watch the announcement trailer real quick.
Peggy 16. We altered the course
Okay, that's
of nature. Unleashed genetic
babies!
power across continents.
Oh my god!
Now it is up to us to nurture
Oh my
what we
god!
have set free, to find hope within this chaos. Well, to help life find
Oh, the
a way.
baby Rexes! That was cool. Okay, so we're also going to watch the gameplay trailer that came out
Peggy
today.
16.
But that was awesome. Okay, we just saw that. Oh! That's
Welcome to
cool.
the Dinosaur Integration Network, or DIN for short. Our organization brings groundbreaking, sustainable breeding programs to a global clientele of demanding site owners. We are taking paleocuration into exciting new territory. Where previous pioneers exclusively synthesized female dinosaurs, we are also creating males. These animals
Oh,
are
that was actually pretty cool.
but the beginning of a new evolution. And do keep an eye on the young dinosaurs. They can inherit more than just appearances.
They have their own. The babies have anime. That is so cool.
Every
They have
site
their own
must be a
sounds
perfect
too.
balance of security and spectacle. Protecting our guests is crucial, but so is inspiring the next generation. As with any project of this scale, not everything will go according to plan. As the park manager, you'll also need to assess emerging situations and get them under control.
Oh, security
It
cameras.
won't be easy, but that's why we're hiring the best. DIN is here to make a difference. Now, I'm sure you have plenty of questions, but please.
Wait, what the hell?
This is your first and final warning. DIN must not continue.
Whoa. Swimming Spino! Holy hell, that was amazing. Alright, so, this is what the UI is supposed to look like. So, we've got what I assume to be the mother Stegosaurus. Oh, there's another one in the back. I'm thinking this one's going to be the male and that one back there is the female, but, of course, there's the baby. Okay, so, it's basically pretty standard, like the second one. Social needs, juvenile population, the arrow's in that way, and I think that's supposed to say cohabit, but it's in the way in a bit. So it's pretty much just Jurassic World Evolution 2, but better, and they count as separate. The icon says they're separate things. Stegosaurus juvenile, and it's a boy, evidently. But here's okay. So we can see that the tools to slow down time a bit or accelerate it is present. But what is this? I don't know what this is. Maybe it's some kind of like undo button. I don't know. Okay, so this one is one of the locations I think we're going to be at. I can see a whole bunch of aviaries in the back, and I think there's some lagoons in here. But here's something new that I take a notice of. The helicopters now actually have crates. So instead of transporting just one dinosaur from like the straps or whatever, they can now come in a crate. Now, of course, down here we see two brachiosauruses and a baby. And now, here's a returning species from the first game, which I'm assuming is going to be in the base roster, Geosternbergia. So I'm gonna. This actually adds something you may not have noticed in the trailer, but it should have been obvious: sexual dimorphism. But first, Geosternbergia baby in the back. So, like with birds, for pterosaurs, you would have the brighter, more colorful-looking ones for the males, because this one back here, it has a much more vibrant head crest and a much bigger one than the one in front. So this one in front must be a female, and that one back there is a male. Another returning species confirmed in the first few seconds, that's so adorable, is the Mosasaurus. So unfortunately, because of how it's angled, I have no way of telling whether or not which is the female and which is the male, but look, it's so cute! Well, what's that back there? There it is. What is that? It might be something new. I don't know, but I don't know. Might be a new type of pliosaur for the game, but I'm not sure. Alright, another case of sexual dimorphism. The one on the left is the female, and the one on the right, the big boy there, is the male, because the horns are longer and more curved, and there's a much bigger frill. I like how they're just making the game as best as it can be. This is another case of parent-offspring interactions, and I love it so much. Unfortunately, these aren't the skins for the buck and doe from the Lost World. Well, that right there is definitely a baby Rex. That's definitely Junior. Something normally when I play these games, I don't play them just for the environment, but I love this new Japanese-themed biome, especially the cherry trees. And this might be the last image I have. Oh, no. Okay, so we also have modular building, and I'm not fond of it simply because I just never go out of my way for creativity in these types of games. Okay, more modular building. You can see all that right there. Alright, and we're back to the Stegosaurus. I'm going to get some more images real quick. Yes! Okay, so, we don't have any images yet for baby Spinosaurus, but this just looks fantastic. I love how the Spinosaurus can actually swim now. And supposedly, because of the water's new depth control system, which is also confirmed, I'm thinking that large bodies of water are now crucial into feeding your semi-aquatic species, because Spinosaurus lived near water. So I'm thinking maybe it's how the Spinosaurus gets its fish. Alright, we've already seen this picture, and this. More Brachiosaurus images, and this is also about the depth control, because normally the highest bit of water Jurassic World Evolution 2 had, it would barely even come up to the joints for the Brachiosaurus. But you can see they're kind of submerged more, much like the first movie. And now there's a little baby Triceratops. Another image of T-Rex and whatnot. Yes, the Pteranodons. And this is something, if you've watched, it's not showing it now, but in the image, in the announcement trailer, that Pteranodon would be walking over there. And that is something new that can happen. And of course, a Jurassic Park 3 baby Pteranodon. But here's where it gets confusing a bit for me, because that one back there, that's definitely Jurassic World Pteranodon, but this one's a mix of Jurassic World and the Jurassic Park Pteranodon, so I'm not sure. More of the beautiful landscapes and buildings, and back to Spino. Give me a second. Okay, so this is part of the new maintenance team system. They will drive around to fix damaged fences and resupply feeders, driving around in these little ATVs. And this pairs well with the security camera system because it would make it automatic. Alright, and this is part of the deluxe edition. This is Mosasaur Lux, a skin you can have for the Mosasaurus. And I'm thinking you can change the colors to it because I only see one of this orange yellowy color on my screen, and I see those bluish ones in the back. A returning species that has actually upset people. This is Thanatos Draken from the Park Manager's Collection Pack. Why does it upset people? Because it's being resold as DLC in the Deluxe Edition again. A new species. This is Protoceratops. Look at the little babies, they're so cute. These guys are probably going to be a lot more social than most ceratopsians, and I hope that is the case. Another dinosaur is Guanlong, and this is another case of obvious sexual dimorphism. But it's also a clear case of how well Frontier has detailed the juvenile models. See, that baby right there has those downy feathers, but the nose crest is very small at the time. As you can see, that bright, more colored male was, well, obviously a male, than that. Now, the last image I have shows another returning species, Concavenator, also in the Deluxe Edition. Alright, and here's how the campaign works. Set off on a continent-hopping adventure to construct and manage secure havens for dinosaurs across the world. Work with the experts at the Dinosaur Integration Network to build and rebuild parks across the globe, unlocking new locations, dinosaurs, and more as you complete diverse non-linear scenarios. As park manager, you must balance the often conflicting needs of the different factions at play in dinosaur conservation. Your choices will shape your campaign as you favor the security, entertainment, and conservation sectors. Okay, so it's pretty much just a carbon copy, but much better, of the first game. You hop around different locations while taking care of the 3 divisions. Because if you remember the little bit I played of the first game, you'd have security, entertainment, and science. But science has now been replaced by conservation. They will reward you with new technology, but beware, not everyone will see eye to eye with your mission. I like it. Well, that has got to be one of the best news I've heard in a while. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will keep you updated as much as I can throughout the following months. And let's hope Jurassic World Evolution 3 is as good as we hope it is.